Hello, family.
Good evening, everybody. Hope all is well with each of you.
Yes, it is a brand new week, a brand new Monday. I see we got 2 people that's logged on right now, so we're just going to wait and let a few more people come into the stream before we go ahead and get started.
Yes.
But so, Lakesha, how was your week?
So far, so good. So far, so good. I cannot complain. It's the beginning of my birthday week, so.
Oh yeah, it is. Insightful Gang. It is Lakesha's birthday week. Her birthday is Friday.
Yes.
So if y'all want to leave her some birthday love in the comments, y'all can do that.
Yeah.
Feel free.
What about yourself, cuz? How has your week been?
It's been good. It was a little busy today, at work, but nonetheless, it was still good. So I'm happy about that.
Good.
Happy, to start another week.
Yes. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie. Oh, I love when my friend is prompt, but they're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But it's cool. She wishes you a happy early birthday.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Scorpio in the building. Libra still better, but whatever.
Oh, we digress. We're not gonna get into that.
Let you have that, Everybody loves a Libra. Anybody that's a Libra that's watching, shout out, put something in the comments, They know what's up.
Yeah. Y'all time has passed. Scorpios are here to stay. Okay.
But anyway. Moving on. But anyway, Lakesha, can you believe that this is literally the season finale?
Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like we just started. And we are getting ready to end our first season of our podcast. So it's bittersweet. It's a bittersweet moment.
It really is. But you know what? I have enjoyed it so much. I felt like I know I learned a lot about myself personally. And I just love the fact that we were able to reach so many people and just have so many enriching and enlightening conversations about a variety of different topics. I really enjoyed that. And I'm glad that I got to do this with you.
Aww.
So, yeah.
Me too, cuz. Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Out of all of the episodes that we have had thus far, is there one in your mind that sticks out as your favorite, or a discussion that's been the most impactful for you?
Yeah. I don't know if I can pick just one. But there's 2 that definitely come to mind. Obviously the grief one was very personal to me for many reasons. So I would say that one. And I really like the State of the Black Man episode.
Yes.
Which, by the way, was our most viewed episode live. So thank y'all for everybody that tuned in.
Yes.
To watch that one. We really appreciate that.
Yes.
So,
hey, Auntie. That's my auntie, y'all. If y'all wonder who Tusa Jones is.
She is a loyal viewer.
She is.
What about you, Lakesha? You got a favorite episode?
Kind of like you. There are several that stuck out. I definitely enjoyed the dialogue that we had with Matthias about STIs, and just learning some new information in regards to that particular subject matter. But I can't. What else can I say about the State of the Black Man? That has been, like you said, our most viewed, the most impactful episode that we have done. We got so much positive feedback, after that episode aired, and you all wanting a part 2. So trust and believe we will be in contact with those men, and probably potentially adding some others to that discussion, because it was so good. So once again, thank you all for everything that you all have done, for taking time out of your schedules to come and spend a little time with us on Monday nights. And we look forward to what we have in store for you all come season 2. So be on the lookout for more content in the near future.
Yes. And as always, we want you to continue to be a part of the discussion. We're probably going to be doing some like fun little things probably in our, if y'all follow us on Instagram and like on Facebook, we're definitely going to be probably having like some where we want to hear from you in terms of topics that you think you may want us to talk about, because we always want to make sure that we're talking about topics that is important to Lakesha and I, but also that you all want to hear, because you know we do this for you all. So that's definitely important. As always, I just want to make sure that if y'all are watching this, make sure that y'all are liking, subscribing to our Facebook page and to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our Instagram. And you can also listen to us on all major podcast platforms or your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you check us out. Okay. And you want to go ahead and get started?
Yes. Let's go on and bring this discussion, this panel in. Y'all are going to be in for a treat this evening.
Okay. So like if y'all saw the promotion for this episode, it's going to be talking about relationships. So all things relationships. And so we call this episode Before, During, and After, discussing relationships in stages. So for all of our new viewers and returning viewers, I'm Shnequia.
And I'm Lakesha.
And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started on this episode. So Keisha, who do we want to bring in first?
I will go ahead and introduce one of my panelists. This woman is like a second mother to me. She is a former supervisor of mine when I started off early on in my career out of college. And when I tell you, like, she gets it done. She gets it done. She's not only been a great supervisor when I was under her. She's been an amazing friend over the years. Somebody that I could, call on and talk to and not worry about my business getting out in the street. She's one of those individuals. She's going to tell you like it is. She does not choose sides. She's going to hold you accountable for your actions. And I love that about her. And so without further ado, and I can't also just to sound her out, she's going to be relocating in a couple of weeks or so. So to say the least, I am going to truly miss spending time with her, because like when I tell you, she's an awesome individual. She really is. So without further ado, Talinda Mitchell, come on into the stream.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Thank you for the introduction. It was like, oh my gosh, she's talking about you.
Yes, that intro was for you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here and just looking forward to the discussion.
Good. We're looking forward to what you have to add to the dialogue.
Yes. Is there anything, Talinda, that you want our viewers to know about you?
Just that I am who I am. No question is too crazy. I'm not easily offended. I'm very okay with my past and my choices because it made me who I am today, and I love the Talinda I am today. So I have no regrets for any decisions I made, and no question won't be unanswered.
That's what's up. Thank you for that. We appreciate the realness and the rawness, because this is what this episode is going to be about.
Yes, it is. But it is always true.
Right. So I guess it's my turn. I'm going to bring out one of my guests. I think I'm going to go with my friend. Well, both of my friends actually, but she's a female friend. She, like you, Keisha, she's been like someone that's been in my life for a very long time. We've been friends since college, our VSU days. She's one of my very best friends. I mean, the most loyal, encouraging, supportive person that I know. She's real too. She would definitely give me that realness. She tells it like it is, but she does it in a way that's very loving. And I always tell her that I appreciate her being in my life because she knows me like really, like in and out, and she's always there for me when I need her. So let me go ahead and bring my bestie Gwen Strong into the stream.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so used to being on the other side in the comments. So to be on this side, this is interesting. It's new for me, but I'm excited to be here with y'all.
We're excited too, Gwen. Thank you.
Glad to have you. Anything you want to add or want people to know, Gwen, about you?
I'm here. I'm ready. I'm willing to talk. We'll see what happens.
Okay, that's what's up.
All right,
your turn, Lakesha.
My last panelist whom I invited, this individual is also a former supervisor of mine. We were talking earlier, me, him, and Talinda is kind of like a family reunion in sorts. And once he comes on the stream, for those of you all who know us, then you will know why I made that statement. To say the least, he is an awesome father, great husband, an advocate for his community, especially young boys throughout Madison County. He too was a former supervisor of mine. I still come to him today, especially when I need advice about men. And just like Talinda, he's going to keep it real. He's going to hold me accountable. He does not take sides, but he does so in a loving way as well. To say the least, he is a man of God. He proclaims God's from the highest of the hills to the depths of the valley. So without further ado, Mr. Marv Mateer, will you come on into the stream this evening?
All right. How you all doing out there?
Doing good.
Hey, these some real serious introductions right here, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
We do it big.
I love it. It's my honor to be here. When you called and asked about me coming on, I couldn't tell you no. So I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Anything you want to let people know?
No, you know what? I'm ready for the questions. I think my life is an open book. Man, flip the pages. Let's go.
All right. I like that.
And last but not least, I have my other guest, one of my friends. I've known him for some years now. We used to work together. He was my work buddy. Always makes me laugh, but I always enjoy getting to know other therapists, but especially Black male therapists, because there's not really that many around. So whenever I'm able to kind of connect with them, I really enjoy it. So without further ado, I want to bring my friend Justen DeVos in.
Well, these introductions have been have been fantastic. Wow. Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I look forward to a great discussion with you all tonight.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Justen?
Oh, no, they'll know enough about me by the end, I'm sure.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, so we can go ahead and get started. And this is an open discussion, so feel free to, just jump right on in or whatever. Me and Lakesha just gonna be kind of just guiding the conversation. But I think maybe we should start about maybe why we feel that this topic is important. Like, why is it important to talk about relationships, y'all think?
Well, one of the main reasons is because there are so many misconceptions of what relationship is, depending upon who you are, your experience in life, what you're going through. And sometimes people think they're on an island by themselves, and they think that they're the only ones who are going through or not going through or can't quite get this thing right. And that's just not the way it is.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say that the topic is essential because relationships is not just between man, woman, 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 man, man, but between father and daughter, mother and son, and maybe something we could say now could kind of bridge that gap between that mother and son and father and daughter. Um, yeah, man, relationships are all around. It's not just about intimacy.
Right.
Sex. It's real broad.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely fantastic point.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So, one of the first things I think about in relationships is, when you're the authentic you versus the representation of like what you want that person to know or to see or whatever. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all think it's important to really show the person who you are right away, or do you kind of need to, kind of feel them out first? Like, what do y'all think about that?
So on the surface, I guess the PC answer would probably be just be authentic right out the gate, but that's kind of not really realistic when you really think about it. Like, you're not going to give everybody everything when you first meet them. There's going to be some degree of a representative that you're going to have, like when you first meet somebody.
Right.
And it's just, I think the goal becomes of how safe does that authentic person feel to actually show the authentic version of themselves, right?
Mm.
And that's generally what our representative is.
Right.
I think sometimes you look at it as if there's certain levels to every person. So I have that circle of associates that I know, and they're associates, so they get that part of my life. I'm not. It's who I am, but that's the part you get. You don't get that stupid corner in my life, and you're just an associate. But when you have stayed in my life and you've shown me that I can trust you, and you've shown me that you have my good intentions at heart, then I can give you more of an inner me.
Right.
My problem comes in when you talk about representation, when people are nowhere near who they say they are. I don't care what level they're on. These are people who are making. They hear what you say you want in a relationship, whether it's your child, your job, or a spouse, and then they give you that person who's not really them. That's the representation problem that comes in when they're not even truly giving you any of them. They're giving you who they think you want to be. So when it comes down to it, and you guys have went to that next level, and all of a sudden they can't maintain that facade, then you're stuck with somebody you have no clue who it is, and you're like, and who is the person I've been talking to for the past 3 months? Where's this person? That's the problem I have in the difference in representation and then giving you parts of me as we grow.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that too, because I know, like, in my work, I do a lot of, because I'm a therapist for everybody that knows, and I always talk to my clients a lot about just knowing who they are and things like that, because I feel like sometimes people wear masks and they don't necessarily want you to. They want to show you what they think will get them accepted or whatever have you. Yeah, and so I feel like I think a lot of people do that. It's just a lot of mask wearing and people not showing like who they really are, like you were saying.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, when people are running for office, they tell you all the good stuff. They tell you everything you want to hear, everything that's trending. But then when they get that position and it's time for them to ante up, it's a whole new world. And people do that in relationships. Like I said, whether it's parents to kids, siblings to siblings, or even at work. You go in pretending that you're this one person who you're never gonna be. So it's a difference between letting you see part of me as we grow, so I can trust you with my secrets in my heart, as opposed to giving you somebody totally different who I am never gonna become.
Right.
That's where the discussion comes in at.
Right. Talinda, that's a fantastic point. There's a big difference between someone's representative, which should be some of the best parts of something you actually are, and just a bold-faced lie. Like, there's two different things between your representative and just straight up lying.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
Right.
I will add to that, as you know, I love using myself as an example because I stayed in that mode for a long time because it was easy. It's easy to utilize your representative, if it get you what you want. And a lot of
Right.
times the females from when I was younger and I was struggling with women, the females didn't even allow time. They fell for that representative so quick. I didn't even have to be my real self. I could fake all I wanted to, man, and they accepted it. So I just got what I wanted and moved on. So I felt like the representative was being groomed. And I didn't get a chance to become a real man until I found out. So I found the real God, man, and realized there was consequence for my actions, and I got a conscience. Then I had a daughter too, so that kind of changed the game as well. But my representative was being groomed, and it made me a monster, man.
I have a question for each of you all. Do you all think that in relationships, when it comes to gender, do you think females wear more of a mask, or they show more so of the representative versus the authentic self, or do you think men more so play more into that representative role than showing who they really are? Or is there a balance between the two sexes?
I believe both do it.
I do too.
I was gonna say that too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's both because I think we all have a role that we're trying to play. Everyone's trying to get something in the beginning. So what I'm putting out, my first representation of myself is who I think someone wants me to be because this is what I'm looking for. And I think men are doing the same thing.
Oh, definitely.
I also think that women are very emotional. So a lot of our reputation is brotherly love, let me forgive you. Anything you do is okay. There's no rainbows and unicorns. Where men are more physical, they're looking at finances and taking care of that family and showing that they're men because they grew up saying, men take care of these things. And then sometimes it's opposite, and a lot of times you don't see that emotion in a man that we may need. And then men don't see that secure female who's going to take it to the end and be there for them because they're too busy trying to be all sweet and cute and helpless. And that's not what we are. And that's not who the men are. I mean, the men are more than a paycheck. They're more than let me pay a bill. They're more than let me take care of the bully on the block. They have their own emotions and everything else. But so many times society has us so wrapped around to what we're supposed to represent.
Yep.
We never give the real us until it's almost too late.
Yeah,
That's true.
right.
That's true.
Yep.
And I want to bring attention to one of our comments. See if I can put it on the screen.
You just had it and then it just went away.
I did just went away.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. So this is from Diane. It says that is because people use social media as a guide to what the opposite sex want. So how y'all feel about that?
Oh man. It's not real, y'all. Not real. It's not real.
It's not real.
Social media is not. It's not.
That is not a good place for relationships.
Right.
At all.
And I think people do a very good job of displaying their representative in social media world, because basically, whether you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, TikTok, so on and so forth, you can be who you want to be out here, in social media, and have people out here thinking that you're this and that, or you're doing this and that, or you're going here, there, and everywhere. And that, like you said before, that may not necessarily be your life, and so people get caught up and they get trapped up into that. And then they meet you, and kind of like you all were saying before, the person that I fell for, the person that I desire, I so want, is not the person that's standing right here in front of me. And so now, now we got a whole bunch of chaos and drama that's going on as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want to say hi to Diane. That's my sister. So hi, hun, for watching it, giving us. I can't do without giving her a shout out. That's my best.
Yeah. And she also wrote another comment. She said people jump into relationships before they discover who they are entering a relationship with. Yes, so true.
And that's because there are stages to a relationship that we'll get to that, I'm sure, at some point. But you don't even if you're impressed with someone's representative, you do not jump immediately into a long-term relationship with them. There are stages from talking, dating exclusive, all of that before you finally decide to this is who I'm going to be with.
Whew.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
You sure did. And that just made me think about when we were talking about social media. And you know how I think I've read something or heard some discussions or whatever, and they were talking about, it's not official unless it's social media official, like the relationship. If you're not claiming me like on Facebook or whatever, like we ain't really together. So like, how do y'all feel about it? Like, do you feel like that's important, that a Facebook relationship means that y'all are officially a relationship? What y'all think about?
No.
On social media? Okay.
No. You don't even have to put all of that out there on social media. Now, here's the thing, and Shnequia knows this, and if you know me, you know this. I've been with my husband for 17 years. So we dated for 5, we've been married for 12. So for us, we started this before social media became like the big thing. But even when we first were like getting on and doing the social media stuff, it wasn't important that we were connected to each other. Because the only person who needed to know our business was the two of us. We didn't need everybody else to know our business. We didn't need anybody else to validate what we have, because this is our relationship.
That's right.
Gwen, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So my thing would be, if what's coming up, it was something about those love letters, yes or no.
Yeah.
Right there. So it's like there's levels to this thing. You don't have that no more. I don't think that take place anymore. So with social media, so my thing is, how could they make the best out of social media? Because this is social media right here. What we're doing, it's social media, and it's positive. So there's some positivity to social media. You gotta just pick and choose wisely, because I don't run across some great stuff on social media that changed my perspective on life. So I don't think social media is a bad thing. You just have to pick and choose what part of social media you're using. That's my take on social media.
I agree with you on that. That's fair.
And I know I missed some, so hope I don't repeat it, but I think people who take relationship advice from social media,
right,
is setting us for failure. Because sometimes you have those people who we put the post and talk about things and everybody want to like it, and they get mad at their boyfriend or girlfriend because of what somebody might have said. You can't take relationship from social media when that social media don't know who you are or what you're going through. And it's like, sometimes it sounds good, but it's the most ridiculous thing. I read one the other day. I'm not on there much, but I read another day, and it said that God makes people abuse you until you get stronger to walk away.
Nope.
Then you got people going, wow, yeah. I'm like, are y'all crazy? And I don't know. I'm thinking, that's not God. God is not going to let somebody beat you up until you're strong enough to walk away from a butt whipping. But then they're using that to decide how to do their relationship. Like, oh yeah, I deserve this because what? So you can't use social media as your point of contact and point of agreement when it comes to your relationships. I don't care what kind, even if it's a job.
Yeah.
And so many people do that. They read social media, they see how people do social media, they see people hugged up and all happy, and they're thinking that's what relationships are all about. Like there's never an issue. But they forget it in the same couple, arguing in the street about the baby diapers not getting bought.
Right.
About that, because on social media they look so happy and they look so put together.
Right. So I think this is a good segue into another topic in regards to healthy relationships. Like, what makes a relationship healthy? Y'all think?
Yeah, there's a lot of answers to that. There's a lot of answers, but really what makes it healthy is what you and that. I mean, there are some universals. People say the honesty, the integrity, trust, a certain amount of space, balance. But I really think a lot of those answers are really dependent upon the two people in the relationship and what works for those.
Right.
There's no one answer for everything. Right.
Yeah. And I think at one point you have to agree to disagree.
Right.
Because in a relationship, you're never gonna agree on the same thing unless somebody's lying. If your relationship and everything, you and your other person agrees on everything, somebody is living a lie.
Somebody lying, or somebody don't care.
Yeah, one of the other.
Yeah.
You got to agree to disagree and keep it moving, because it's okay to have opposite opinions. It's okay to be your own person. A relationship truly still survive that.
Right.
Some of the best ones. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I definitely agree with that, because I know, I mean, I can't speak because I'm not currently in a relationship, but I have been in relationships before, and I know a lot of people tend to lose themselves in relationships. They become what the other person want them to be, and they lose who they are. They lose what they enjoy doing and things like that. And to your point, Talinda, I really think it's important that you do keep a sense of individuality, and that's part of being in a healthy relationship. Is knowing that I have a life outside of the relationship.
I think a lot of that comes from when we tend to lose ourselves in relationship, whether you're a woman or a man, child, boy, even if it's work related, even platonic. I think a lot of that comes because we ourselves don't know who we are. We don't know what we were created to do in the earth. And so because you don't know who you are, who you belong to, and what the purpose that God has placed you on the face of this planet for, yes, you will get lost in that other person and what they have going on. And so that's why I am such a big advocate now, at this point in my life, because I've had so many failed relationships, about really getting back to the core, the sense of who I am, getting to know Keisha for me, for myself. So when I enter into the next relationship, it'll be a whole lot better than the previous ones. But we've got to start doing the work on our end. And to me, that's something a lot of people, they don't necessarily want to do. They want to do the work once they enter the relationship.
Yeah, but they don't want to do it before you get into it.
It's not fair to the other individual. I've said it before in one of our previous episodes. It's not my job to be your nurse.
Right.
I'm saying, I'm putting in your rooms and things. And like I said, I'm just learning this at 37 years of age. But you got to do the work on the front end if you want to have a successful relationship, not only with yourself, but with a significant other on the back end.
Yeah, and I want to comment on Shnequia when she says she's not in a relationship now. You're in a relationship. Because I'm pretty sure you have a relationship with other people, and the basis of a relationship is all the same. Trust and honesty. Communication. Don't look at it because you don't have a partner as far as a romantic relationship. It's not a relationship.
Right.
If you're going to work, if you're talking to Lakeisha, if you have family members, you're in a relationship. And if you build on that foundation and do it right there, it'll cross borders on every relationship you have. It's just like people who say that, oh my God, I'm addicted to alcohol. An addiction is an addiction, whether it's food, alcohol, tobacco, sex, or whatever it is. It's still that addiction in your head. So your relationship doesn't change because you don't have a male partner in your life. It's still a relationship, and you still have to work it. You still have to communication. You still got to agree to disagree, and you still have to go on that front end. Right. That way, when you get into another relationship, you have the basis and the foundations for a relationship, not a male-female relationship, but a relationship. And I think that's a problem that we get sometimes. We want to separate all of it. You want to do this for a sister and brother relationship. You want to do this for the mother relationship. You want to do this for the job relationship. You want to do this for the personal relationship. But the foundation is the same: communication and being who you are.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is, and thank you for that too. Because I know when I was speaking on that, I was just mainly talking about just not being in a romantic relationship. But that is a true point, because we have relationships with different people every day, and like you said, people they tend to kind of group it all together when it's just not always just romantic relationships. That we're talking
Let
about.
me add some real quick, Shnequia. Hey, all this is good stuff. And man, listen. So in my book, I got a channel called "We Are Saved, Not Soft." Don't get it twisted. And I think it's a lot of times not about the individual. It's we try to fit our relationships into the world, what the world expects. Like you can't dance, you can't go out drinking, you can't do this, and before you know, you're miserable. You're trying to please the world, and you're miserable. I tell people, man, a healthy relationship You gotta stand alone, man. You get God involved, man, and y'all work this thing out. It's not gonna look like theirs.
Yep.
You know, because like Talinda said, you don't know what's really happening behind closed doors. Because I can guarantee you, folks think my marriage is perfect. It's not. It's not. But I wish people would just, hey man, do you will make you and your spouse happy.
Yep.
Move that dining room table and dance all night. I tell people, I say love hard, but dance harder. Enjoy one another. But a lot of couples are miserable because they don't know how to live and enjoy one another because they're trying to let the world dictate what they should and should not do.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Especially religious people. I'm gonna tell you now. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, yeah, you better school them.
You know, I mean, so I gotta share this. So it hit me when I was younger. I mean, it's real quick. When I heard a pastor in the pulpit talking about how you shouldn't drink, you know, which I get it. Nobody should get drunk. I understand that. But I remember going to Valdosta and seeing the same guy in the liquor store buying some liquor, you know, but he couldn't buy it in his hometown because he want to save face. So you're telling people something, but you're doing something totally different, like Talinda said earlier. And I'm like, man, you know, just live your life. You and your spouse enjoy your marriage, man. All right, I'm done with that.
This is funny. This is funny. Think about it. We're talking about like on a religious level. If you got those people who say you can't listen to secular music, which, you know, we made that distinction, not God. But do you really want to be romantically with your spouse and Kirk Franklin singing in your ear?
Thank you.
I mean, Kirk go hard now.
But we're not saying it. I'm because you know
They thinking about the gospel in those moments. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, but if it's stomp, you know, I mean, no.
I think about stomping that moment.
Hey, to answer your question, no, I'm not. I'm going to some R. Kelly. I'm going to some Keith Sweat, you know, and that's keeping it real.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I say, like what's that one song from the old lady, No Pain, No Gain?
Oh, Betty Wright.
Oh, Betty Wright.
That song, it'd have been okay. Because she was telling you how to be. She said, be a cook in the kitchen, a lady in the street. So you keep every guy you meet. It's all right to be a little sweet, but be a mama with the kids and you know what in the sheet. Everybody on the Christian world be like, yeah, baby, tell them how to be a woman. That's
right.
I'm just saying, sometimes you got to make that leap.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm done with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to acknowledge the comments because the comment section on fire. So don't think I forgot about y'all. Y'all want me to go through all the comments because it's a lot of them. What y'all want to do?
Just pick out some, Shnequia.
Let's pick a couple.
Okay. Let me see. I'll shout out Shantae. She put social media is cyber reality, not reality. Anyone can look like roses on social media, but in reality, they like smell like poop.
That's true. That's true.
That is so real talk.
So true.
Absolutely.
That is real talk. See, Maggie said communication is the main key.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Maggie.
That's true.
Okay.
Very true.
No Kirk.
And she said we have to be open and honest no matter what it is. True.
That's true.
That's that part of agreeing or disagreeing and being yourself.
Yep.
Because we talked about it earlier. It is like Lakesha said that when you're in a relationship, regardless of what it is, we have our responsibilities, you know. But like you said, I'm not your doctor, I'm not your lawyer, I'm not your cheerleader. I'm there to help you, but I cannot be responsible for every emotion or every up or down that you have in life. Because I truly believe one whole woman plus one whole man equals one whole relationship.
That's correct.
Half and a half, I'm gonna give you 50, I give you 50, you're still stuck with 50%. So you gotta be a whole woman, no matter what relationship you're in, You got to be a whole man in my relationship you in to bring that to the table.
Right.
I'm okay eating by myself if you're not bringing to the table what I need you to bring to the table. I eat alone.
I know that's
Hey, Talinda. Hey, Talinda. So I ain't gonna lie to you now. Nah. Hey, no, I got you. I'm gonna take care of my wife now.
Yeah.
But I need to be my doctor. Baby, I need you to be my doctor. All right, cause listen, I'll be honest. And I tell my son this, as a man, we were taught to be macho, like to not show emotions. And like now as a man, I will cry. And my daughter find that funny. And I tell her, I've been hard long enough, man. Let me be soft now. But when I'm sick of something, man, I don't want nobody but my wife. Yeah,
I get it, but if she ain't available, you gotta be able to take care of you until she is available.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
I need my doctor though.
And I ain't even mad about that.
I know.
Ain't available, you won't die in the process.
Yes, Miss Exactly. I got you. Yeah, we're on the same page.
And Mr. Mattia, what I meant by when I said that I'm not here to necessarily be your nurse, I feel like when you come into a relationship, none of us are ever going to be at 100%.
Right.
And I feel like if I've done the necessary work to work on whatever past hood traumas I've had, whether that trauma took place during my childhood, my teenage years, my early adult years, I would love to meet somebody who's done just that or even more. Yeah. Not somebody that's done nothing, and then they want me to kind of struggle with you to get yourself together. Like, no, that's you're not being fair to yourself. You're not being fair to me, and it's not going to be fair to this possible relationship that we could possibly be.
So basically, no struggle love is not.
I don't do struggle love. No, nobody got talking about that.
We don't do that. No, I agree with you.
That's not cute. That's not romantic. That's not grown and sexy. Sorry.
I agree with you on that, Lakesha. I do agree with that because I'm like, if I'm putting in some work, I mean, you need to be doing at least equal or even more to what I have. Because I'm like, because I feel you on that. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody's nurse either. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my job to like raise you. It's not my job to like, make sure that, you have this and all that or whatever. Like some stuff you need to go ahead and bring to the table before we even get together.
I agree, but however.
Can I add to that?
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Mattia.
Talinda, not Talinda, but Lakesha, I'm with you. We have some conversations, so I'm with you on that, sister. So as a man, I can't say this. So I know I can't speak for all men, but the guys that I grew up around, a lot of them, we were not raised to be men. We was not raised to be loyal. We was not raised to know how to value a family. We was taught to, for one, view women as sex toys. So I do know that a lot of strong men today, if you talk to them, a lot of them, not all, they will tell you there was a woman somewhere in there that stood up in the paint with them at the weakest moment and stood by their side to help them, to groom them. In my third book, I got a channel called You Prayed While I Played, a message from the once lost brothers. Man, I think back, if my wife would have left me with my girlfriend when I was just lost in this world, I wouldn't have my daughter, I wouldn't have my son, but man, she stood there. And it's like there's no standard to how much you gotta take before you leave. Some folks take a lot, some take a little bit, some take nothing. But there's no standard to how much you take. But nobody's there to get, treated like a doormat. But I think strong women, when they have discernment from God, they know when to leave and when to stay. Because that guy may be genuine. You need that right person to help see him through at a time, man, where he ain't got nobody else to help him out. And I'm telling you, behind every strong man, there's a woman somewhere that helped get him where he at. And so I'm an example. So I know if my would love me, I don't know where I'd be right now, Lakesha. I tell you what, I won't be giving you no advice. If she would love me, I'd be asking you for advice probably. But she stood in there, man, and I just thank God for that woman.
Yeah, and I think when they were talking about, you know, not going through the struggle, I understand that, especially in the beginning when you're trying to find out who each other are. Now, once you're in a relationship and that person has earned your trust and your right, there's gonna be some struggles. And I understand. Definitely. Then when you got two people who are bringing as much as they can to the table, and they trying to make that table fit. You know what I mean? So I'm with you in the beginning when you saying I ain't got time to be racing no boy. I don't. Not right now. Not in the beginning. I need you to bring something to the table. Now, once you at that table and we decided and we agreed to eat together, I got you. Until you show me I can't have you anymore. So it's a difference in that. So I understand what Martia is saying. I also understand what Lakesha was saying. That and everything, that's a balance. That's a balancing act. Only you know where you are. Hey, and when it's time to stay or go. And if you let anybody else in your life tell you differently, you're living for them and not for yourself. And then when things go wrong, you're gonna look at them, and you can't, because you are the only person that can control your destiny. You know.
It's interesting to listen to you, Coach, because I actually had the polar opposite upbringing, right? My father was one that essentially taught me to, like, out the gate, have nothing but respect for, not only men, but definitely women as well.
Congrats,
I carry that with me going forward. And in doing that, he also taught me a lot in regards to being a provider. So as I'm thinking about things when we talk about taking care of a man or taking care of a woman. Even one thing I tell a lot of the couples that a lot of people that come in and see me is there you have to be at a certain level before you're even ready to approach another human being, period.
Correct.
So this concept of build this other person up, get them to this certain level, it sounds really good, but if that person doesn't have it in themselves to already want to be at a certain level before they even approach you, I don't believe that you need to be the one to take them up to that point. They should already come, and I'm not saying they need to come perfect, right? I'm just saying they need to come they need to come ready to want to be better.
Right.
Yeah.
Before they even approach somebody else is what I'm saying. And so if it's something like, if someone's not working, well, you do know, especially if I'm talking to the men too, if as a man you aren't working, well, at some point you're going to want to be the provider. You need to already be working on that before you approach her.
Right. Right.
There are certain things you need to bring, like I said, bring to the table already. And some of it needs to be tangible items. Others needs to be this desire to want to be better out the gate. And also be willing to say, you know what, I'm not where I need to be right now for you. Let me become that. And in the future, maybe you can be together, maybe you can't. That's the dice roll of life. But you don't. The struggle love, I always call that the Tyler Perry syndrome. You don't have to do that. That's not realistic.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mr. Mattia, I think that you made a good point when you brought up the spirit of discernment. Because I think for a lot of women, and I can speak to myself, there have been times where I know I have prayed to God and I have asked God, hey, God, send me a sign about this individual, whether to take this relationship forward.
Yeah.
And he did just that. My mama used to always tell me, and she still tells me now, you have to be careful what you ask God for, because he just may end up giving it to you.
Yeah.
We'll sit up here and we'll ask and we'll pray and we'll cry and God will do this and God will do that. And he sends you sign after sign after sign, but it's not necessarily what it is I wanted to hear. So I'm still go on with it anyway. And so because I down on this path, now I got to be a woman about the consequences that's going to come along with it as well.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah. So that was a good point that you brought up about, listening to your spirit. If you know something is not right, leave it be. But if you know that, hey, you're going to go in the opposite direction, know that consequences are going to abound. And when they do, hey, take it for what it is. You made that decision. No one else did.
Right.
We got to remember, as women, every good man ain't the right man, and as men,
Exactly.
every good woman ain't the right woman. Because you're a
Yeah.
good man, don't mean you the right man for my situation.
That is
Correct.
correct.
That's
Sometimes
correct.
we confuse that too. We have that little check off list. Oh, he got a job. He go to church. He cute.
Yeah.
He brings flowers, and you checking this stuff off, but you're not looking at the whole entire picture.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't trying to figure out what his goals are. You ain't trying to figure out why he don't have nowhere to stay or why he's bumming rides. It could be a legitimate reason, but we're so busy looking at the tangible, some of the tangible things, and like check out this list. Ooh, I got me a man now. That just because he's a good man don't make him the right one.
That's it.
That's why you got to go
Right.
back with that God that's discerning and say, okay, it's in front of you. But I need my man. I need my husband. I need my rib. I need the person that's meant for me. And we don't always do that. Huh?
Hey, Talinda, you all. So, have you ever said you ever went into a relationship saying what you're not going to tolerate? Like, you know what? I ain't tolerating this. To the Keisha. All right, look. Hey,
Look, we
I
all have.
realized something.
We all have.
Hey, so
That's all not said it.
hey, so me and some of my partners were talking a while back, and one of my pastor, we're talking about contentious women. We're like, all right, so you know, man, ain't no woman finna talk back to me. You know what? Who? What? I ain't taking all that. So the question was, okay, when she do it, what you gonna do?
Right.
All of us said, well, ain't nothing you can do. You know, you gotta just take it. What, you gonna leave them? So I realized, man, that when we set expectation on other people about what they better not do, man, that right there is a recipe for disaster, because now your pride done kicked in. Your pride done kicked in. And then we start having, and you know, behind pride comes destruction per the Bible. So a lot of the issues in our marriages and relationships, it ain't so much as what we see, is what we done caused through that pride, and we just blind not to anything else cause our pride in the way. I ain't gonna tolerate it. They do it one time, and now you're in a bad situation now mentally, and you can't see no good, and everything is just going chaotic. So I don't learn, man, to not go in saying what you just ain't gonna tolerate, because you just may get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying now.
That's just the ego talking whenever
So,
people
so
do
are
that.
you saying that you can have expectations, like you can still have the expectations, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands. So you can have the expectations, but you have to realize that
You can't control
They're
nobody but
human.
yourself.
you can't control anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
they're human.
There has to be some degree
I
of
know.
flexibility, guys. Gotta be.
Say it again, Justen.
There has to be some degree of flexibility when you're dealing with another human being.
Right.
You can't control
Yes.
another human being.
Right.
Yes.
Flat out.
You would never. A guy said something a while back that I'm like, man, that is deep. It say one of the things any person hates to see is their renewed and improved ex in the arms of another person. And I said, you know what, man? I say, boy, that ain't, because especially if you don't put in time with them, but because your pride kicked in and you're not willing to compromise on some things, you let that good person go, and then they find themselves in somebody else's arms. Man, that hurt, man. Cause now you left there with number pride, and that's it. So
Yeah. I want to go to some of the comments again. Carrie put, a lot of women pray for a man and stop praying when the first man comes along, assuming God sent them, and stop praying. The devil knows the desire of our hearts as well. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right,
He
man.
was an angel. Remember, he was in heaven as well. So
Was his best angel too.
yes.
Now, you know, I think one of the funniest thing that I've noticed in a lot of relationships, regardless of what kind they are, and when you find somebody who say a nickel, but they insisted on having a dime. You know what I'm saying? They want that person who's got that job, who's got that career, who's got their life together, who's got a house, who's got a car, all this stuff. But you riding around on a bicycle, bumming a ride from your homeboy. But you refuse to have a woman who got a kid, or you refuse to have a woman who won't do exactly what you say, but you bringing her a 5-cent piece, but you require her to be a dime piece. Okay, I'm the only one who's experienced this, seen this, know this, or can attest to this. But you have men and women who are demanding that the person they be with is the cream of the crop. Not on their way there, but there. But what you giving me, like you said, you see a lot of men be like, oh man, you are not, I got a woman on the side, but she might not have no man. So what makes you think she want a man that's cheating on her when you don't want a woman that's cheating on you? So why are we so willing to give what we don't want to receive? We want that dime piece. We want that man with that car and that career and that house and that physique and everything else and hold the door for you and rub your back and rub your feet. But you don't want to make it no bath water. You don't want to cook dinner when it's time to go home. You don't want to go get a job if you need more money. You don't want to keep your hair up. You ain't got to be cheating no more. You don't want to do none of the stuff to get them. But you want that dime standing next to you, but you're going to give him a 3-cent piece. Now, it's different. If you a 5-piece and I see you walking to a 7-piece and I can help you to the 9. We all good with right. But if you're a 2-cent piece and you have no chance getting to a 5 and I'm rocking with a 9, we got a problem. But if I'm a 5-cent piece, let me find me another 5 or 7 and we can get up there together. But too many people are trying to get that dime piece and still trying to give you that 5-cent piece with no change in mind.
So my next question to you all, Talinda, with what you just said, how do you find balance in a relationship? So how do I still make time for myself, but at the same time, I'm able to give to you and pour into you as I need to be?
Communicate with your partner and respect space. Like, I don't know why for so many people have a tendency that once they get with somebody, they eliminate the space between them. There should be no space at all. And that's just it's not true. You and your partner are going to need space from each other at times. It doesn't mean the relationship's over. It means you are still an individual and you're going to want to do some things on your own. You're going to want some space. And it's normal. That's normal and that's healthy. And also you have to always encourage your partner, even when you disagree. If it's something that makes your partner happy, have their back. Straight up.
I hate fishing.
I encourage every man to get a man cave.
Thank you. I tell every single one.
Get a man cave.
Get a cave.
I have one, and I be in it every. Did I say every? Every day. Every day, and not because I have issues in my house. Right. Like Brother Justen said, man, I believe, so I take pride in meditation. I take peace. I don't have any windows in that man cave. And it gives me a chance to find myself, man. And as a man, you need that because we're hit with so much. I know women are too, but we're hit with so much throughout the day that you have to have that space, man. And a man can give you that. And then even if you get into an argument with your spouse, things don't go right, you don't have to go to a bar. You don't have to go to a strip club. You don't have to go, man, go in your man cave.
Stay home. Right.
You're still in your heart, go out there and chill out and come back in the house, man.
Yep. And I encourage women too, and I've gotten pushback from this. If your man has a cave, please respect it. Please. Don't just barge in and come at him.
You don't get no peach in the man cave now, ladies.
Yeah, like that's respect his cave, please. Don't barge in. Don't just. If we're not done talking, don't do that. Don't do that.
I agree with you.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Listen. And it's for all the ladies listening out there. Like Justen said, if the argument is taking place inside the house, do not follow him in the man cave saying we ain't done yet. Don't do that, man. Just let that be sacred. That's his spot out there, man.
Part of creating a balanced relationship is being able to walk away from some arguments to let things calm down and then approach it later with a calmer mind in a bit of a better mood. You don't have to end every argument right in that moment.
Right.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree with
And
that too.
part of the other conversation you were saying, how do you keep balance? I think one of them, while we talk about communication, that's actually one of the biggest things, is to set certain parameters in the beginning. Like,
Yes.
I have women trips. So any relationship I get into, they're gonna know so many times a year, I'm gonna go with my girl. It's not up for debate. It's not an option. Now, when I go is a different story and how long I'm gone. But I'm gonna go because that's my peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's certain things when I'm creating, I'm doing art or I'm learning a new dance. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want you to stop and ask me how my day was. I don't want you to stop and ask me what dinner is. I don't want you to tell me you brought me your new pair of tennis shoes. I don't care at that point. So it's got to be those things where in the beginning you have to have those you got to have those conversations.
Yep.
Ask that person, what is it that you need to stay in your comfort zone? You know, what is it that you need to be happy? What can I do as the other person in your life to make life a little easier for you? And then let's see if you can compromise and get that done. Now, I ain't saying it's going to happen. So you can throw all this crazy stuff out there and think you're going to get everything you ask for. No. But, however, that is a platform and a foundation so we can discuss what both of us want. So I ain't want to throw that out there. People go, oh, yeah, go get what you want. No, you're not getting everything you want. I'm not going to get everything I want. But I think if I get enough of what I need and I get enough of what you need, eventually it'll be okay.
Right.
But you got to
Hey, Talinda.
Yeah.
I can go out there on a limb. I go on a limb for a second. I don't mind living on the limb, on the edge. I like any man that's getting any man now, and Justen can probably agree to this here. Any man that's solid in his thinking, because we know without our women, man, we are nothing. Without our queen, there's nothing she could ask for that she won't get, as long as she's giving him key things in life, man. One of them things is peace.
Amen.
You know, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing a female could ask for that her husband won't get her if she's giving him those essential things, man. Females, not all now, don't get this twisted, it's not all. But it ain't about the sex, man. It ain't about something about the intellectual stimulation, man, that peace. You know, man, that is heavy. And if a female could give that, man, she's getting it. She's getting it. But as soon as that contentious side kicks in and start tapping with his sanity, all right, now, you know, it throws men off. So I go on the limb and say that females, y'all got power. You all deserve to be spoiled. Justen, I mean, talk to me, Justen.
Brother, I completely agree. Peace is hands down the most important thing. I mean, that's why we create caves. That's why we have our caves in the first place. If home or our relationship isn't peaceful, it's guaranteed to be chaotic, or it's guaranteed to fall apart.
Yeah. I think we all can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I'm right there in that limb with you, brother. I'm right there with you.
Hope don't fall down, brother. It's two of us on that
I'm
now.
hoping.
So I actually had a question, just kind of shifting gears a little bit. So for our viewers that might be single and that maybe desire a relationship or desire marriage or whatever, the ones that are married that's on our panel, like, how did you know that you found the one that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
Hey, I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know, man. It was work in progress, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's
definitely a work in progress. No, it definitely was. The way in which I could definitely, and I don't mind self-disclosing, the way in which I knew, and it's kind of funny because it ties back into peace. It wasn't when she moved across state lines, so we can continue the relationship we started when I was in grad school. It wasn't even after we moved in. Wasn't even after we moved in together. I remember I knew when it was during a certain argument. And at some point during that argument, she stopped arguing for what she wanted And she started to say, wait a minute, okay, how can we squash this and actually just get along? And I had remembered, I had said for years, like, I just want us to just get along. And I remember that argument because I remember once she stopped arguing her point and just kind of wanted to get along, all my anger disappeared. And I remember saying out loud, oh, okay, you get it now. And I went and shopped for rings like the next week.
Wow.
It immediately erased any doubt I had about whether or not we could get along, and we were fine from there.
Well, for me, we met very young. And so we built together, we grew together, we were able to get to know ourselves as individuals, but also, who we were together and that we were compatible. So over time, it was just one of those things for me. And I'm one of those people who were like, Lord, this is what I'm looking for. And it's not even, I wouldn't even say this is what I was looking for. I know I've shared this with Shnequia before, but it was a sermon that I watched and some things that I had wrote down. And when I met my husband, first we met as friends and we had that friendship first. And then as we got to know each other, we started a relationship, but we were still growing as individual people, but we were also growing in a relationship together. And we saw that we could build together. And that was a big thing, I think, for us. Because even today, 17 years later, it's one of those things where, he knows I'm going to have a busy day. He's stepping in. He's cooking dinner. He's making, he's giving the girls baths. He's doing what he needs to help out. He doesn't have to ask because he knows. And then for me, I know the things that he needs. So it became one of those things where we knew each other. We knew what the other person needed. And it just became one of those things where I couldn't imagine my life without him.
Yeah, see, me and my wife, we were high school sweethearts. So she got pregnant in high school, and and that's why I teach children to this day to wait, to not engage in sexual activity until you're ready to deal with the consequences and rewards thereof. So you're trying to be a mature and responsible father and a husband eventually was a task. And to this day, man, I know for a fact that in every woman, this keep me grounded right here. There are things my wife and I are on point with. A lot of things. Some things that we just not on point with to this day. And I know that those same qualities can be found in somebody else. But if you go there, you're going to find some of the things your wife was doing great, they're not doing so great. So it's like, you don't know, like, it's like, how you know when it's the one? You have to just make your mind up, man, that the person you're with is not going to have every single thing you want, but a help not what you need, man. And just give you what you need, man, roll with it. Because if you start to question what you want, you ain't getting it. You're gonna find yourself out there trying to find it somebody else, man. So I think we doing our thing, man, but I don't know like what was it, but we rolling. I put it like that, man.
There it is.
It is.
I have a question for the panelists, and this is for all of you all can answer it. For those of us who are single, like me and Shnequia, and maybe some of those in the audience who desire to be married one day, what is one piece of advice that you all would give us when it comes to having a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage?
Making sure you got yourself together. Work on you as much as you can while you can. Know your boundaries. Make sure you can mentally deal with relationships. A lot of people, once they've been single for so long, and all of a sudden you got this other whole person in your life that's in your life 24/7. Sometimes emotionally people are not ready for it. You just gotta make sure you're mentally, emotionally stable as a person, as an individual. Before you make that joining, make sure as an individual you where you need to be, and you can deal with you and all that past stuff you had. Find a way to get rid of it, because you punishing the next person for something that somebody else did is never a good look. And in your mind, you got it done, and then that person can say something or do something or look at you a certain way, and it'll trigger you back to what the last man or the last woman did. And then you're not ready. You're not ready. So while you're waiting, get ready.
I agree.
I would definitely. I like that. I would say have fun. Like if your relationship needs to be, there has to be some component that is enjoyable, that you all have fun and actually like to do things together. You can have all your ducks in a row, but if it's just two people that just don't like to do certain things together, then you're going to have a hard time coming together. There's got to be a component of fun in your relationship. You can, both of you all can be 17-year-old kids if you want to again.
That's it. Yes, sir, buddy.
You just got to have fun. I mean, you had the example earlier, Coach and Talinda, talking about, dancing and doing all that stuff around the house. You got to. You got to. Don't let other people, don't let like society and social media dictate what that you have to have this type of relationship. Have fun and do what works for y'all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And man, listen, this is, hey, Justen, boy, I like you already, boy, I'll tell you, man, I don't know you, man, but boy, hey, brother, and you shared a limb with me. I appreciate that, brother.
Man, look, I'm with you.
So to learn a great point, Justen, great point. I would say this, I used to do weddings, record and do a little DJing and whatnot, and when we get to the reception, the first piece of advice that people give the newlyweds, they say, keep people out your business. And I totally get that. But however, I want to share this. Okay. If you tell a man, the wrong man that, he will get to a point, he can't get to a point to where his way is the right way, and nobody come in and tell him nothing. You ain't gonna change him because he ain't finna share nothing. Get somebody that you trust, that you know. You gotta listen to somebody. Somebody gotta be in your business. Somebody that you trust, because sometimes you ain't gonna. And don't tell me when we talk to God. Don't give me that. Get somebody. Justen is very smart.
I'm with you. I'm with
Justen. Yeah, a person like Justen, somebody that can hold you accountable to do what you say you're going to do and not going to be biased. You need somebody like that in your corner. If you don't have them, your relationship can quickly go down the drain because nobody wants to own up to what they're doing, because everybody's side of the story is the right side.
Right.
Bring somebody in your business out the gate that's not biased.
Right.
That's
gotta be unbiased.
Okay.
Gotta be unbiased. Totally right.
Yeah. That's good.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree with that, Coach, because like when I got married, well, before we got married, we had relationship counseling by our pastor. And one of the things he talked about was not just letting your family, because you don't want to have that biased person. You have someone who's unbiased, who's there, who's going to be able to give you the truth, versus like mama, that's my mama. She might see it my way. His mama might see it his way. But if you have that unbiased person who can be like, no, this is how this can be seen. That's what you want. You don't want somebody to just be there to tell you, no, girl, you right. That's right, when you know it's wrong. So you got to have that unbiased person out there who's helping you along to be able to say, no, you were not right. You need to go back and do that again.
Right. There's a big difference between an echo chamber and a support network.
Woo!
I like that, Justen.
I like that.
That's a good one.
That is so true.
That went hard.
Been there,
Very hard. Like I felt that.
Yeah, like been there, man.
Yes. Okay. I'm loving the discussion. I'm loving this. Like I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate this. So, because we're kind of getting towards the end of our time, but I do want to ask this, because like there's some people that don't desire to be in relationships, which is completely fine. And then you have some that feel like, you know, your life is not necessarily complete unless you are in a relationship or whatever. So like, how do y'all feel about how society views relationships versus, I guess, your own personal view of relationship? Like, is it something wrong with the person if they don't want to be in a relationship? Should they let society pressure them into feeling like they need to be in a relationship? What do y'all think about that?
I hope to those that happens to, you know, I want them to change. Like, I want them to change their circle. If you got people telling you got to be in a relationship, no, you don't. Do you?
Right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Look and have fun.
You gotta remember, you get a relationship because society says so, but you weren't gonna deal with that relationship.
Right.
You're the one in the ups and downs and miserable because you don't want to be there or because you're the wrong person. And the person who's telling you that they're doing their own thing and they're happy because they're where they want to be. You got to get to that point where you put the big girl drawers on and be your own person.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the baby discussion. Where they say if a woman hasn't had a baby or doesn't want kids, like something's wrong with her. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It's not true. And if we can say that that's not true, then we got to give relationships the same sort of you know, treated on the same level.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because only you can live your life, and living for somebody else is going to make you more miserable than you are now.
That's true.
Guaranteed.
So if because I am pro effective relationships. I am that. I do know that, especially if you are a person that's active, you're sexually active, you are I'll say spontaneous, you love to do this and that. I tell you, man, you can do. You got. It's almost like people say that loving God and living by the Bible and reading the Bible is boring. No, man, it is so much fun and believing, man. Like, man, I'm free. So when you find the right person, man, they can add so much spark to your life. Like, dude, I mean, in that light, so serious talk, in that light, man, getting a paycheck, and instead of being one paycheck, it's two. You know, that kind of lighten the load a little bit, man. I mean, y'all can be, hey, look, man, I should get an amen down right now because
I'm with you.
I wish this material.
We with you.
Yeah. So it's like, so it's not like you get with somebody just to get the extra support, but when you all can connect, man, like minds, and you got somebody solid, man, they can make your life so much more worth living, man. I promise you. So I would encourage people, don't just close yourself off from saying I don't want to be with nobody, because a lot of times that can come from your experiences, past experiences.
Yeah.
I know in my community, you don't see healthy marriages a lot. Talinda, you know about Madison. You know, you just don't see many healthy marriages. You don't see couples spending time together. You see the husband in one car, the wife in one car. You know, so people don't see that, so they're not going to want that, seek after that, because they don't see that often. So I would tell you, marriage can be amazing. There's a song by, I think, Tyrone Davis. It's called "It's So Good to Be Home to You," and when you can find that right person, you can off work every day. Could be so good when you walk in a house, man, and see that face of that person that you love and they love you back. Ain't that like it, man? So pick up what I'm putting down, people.
Yeah, but the key to that is with the right person, and that's what you want. Because
Exactly.
if you're not ready for that, when anything short of waiting is going to make you and that person miserable. So why make two people miserable on a decision that you could have just waited on? Now, I do agree. Marriage is a beautiful thing when it's done right. Relationships are a beautiful thing when it's done to the best of your ability, when it's right. But however, if that person is not in that frame of mind, for whatever reason it is best that they stay right where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and any other need they need to have. Because what you're doing in your relationship, you're just not your life. Y'all like that?
I did. I like that.
Your life, you're interfering in theirs as well. So when you get in a relationship, you're bringing two people into this. And if you yourself know that you're not ready, for whatever reason you have, whether it's baggage or you just need to do your own thing, or you got some past experiences you need to get rid of, or you ain't got over the last woman, man, brother, child, brother on your daddy's side, whatever the reason is, stay where you are.
Yep.
Until you can truly be a true mate to that person. So you can truly look at yourself, look at your faults and failures, look at your shortcomings, and say, this is who I am. This is where I am, but this is where I want to be. So if you're not ready, let the mountains fall down, let the rivers flow, let the clowns laugh, and stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a whole person and not mess up somebody else's life. Any sense you mess up your life and somebody else's life because you ain't ready.
Correct.
Society got you thinking that I'm 35 and I don't have a boyfriend and I don't have a baby and something's wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't ready. It's the right time. Don't mess up life.
Let me add to that. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree. If you're not ready for something, don't just step out there and do it if you're not ready. I think if there was more discussions about healthy marriages, people will try to get ready because it's like, man, like, but people don't speak on marriage enough. It's not spoken on enough, and therefore there's a bad image of marriage in the mind of people. A lot of people, and it's people are afraid. So I just wanted to make it clear, man, that like I agree with Talinda 110%. If you're not ready, don't mess up nobody else's life, man, because you're gonna be miserable. But I will encourage you to hang around people, watch people that's doing it, find out what they're doing, and get some. You know what? I used to did not like string beans. It's my wife cooked them. She cooked them, and I'm making a good point here now. I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I don't. But I never taste hers. Now I can't stop eating them. So you're around the wrong things. Get around the right things, man. Something different. Your perspective just may change, man.
Yep. Yeah. Change your environment. I completely agree. Change your circle. Change your environment. You'd be surprised what you may start to like.
Yeah. Change your vibe. You can change your tribe.
Yep.
You got some little stuff like that going on with you. I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think too, like for those of us who are single, never married, maybe you've been divorced, you want to seek out marriage at some point in your life. I know I hear a lot from my family and friends and just those around me, about, asking when am I going to get married for A, B, when are the kids going to come? 3, your biological clock, Keisha. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, dang, like you're constantly hearing this over and over and over. So it goes back to kind of like our earlier conversation. If you don't get settled in who you are, you a mess. Okay. You are a mess.
But it's true.
But if you don't get settled and just get comfortable in who you are and where you at this particular point in your life, and that took me a while to get there and to learn that. I've had conversations with Shnequia, Talinda, and Mr. Mateer, and I'm at that point now. Like I'm okay with being single. Do I always want to be single? Most definitely not.
Right.
Most definitely not. I desire a healthy relationship. Right. However, I'm not going to continue to put myself in spaces where it's not healthy.
Healthy.
Where it's not conducive for me and that
Correct.
other individual.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong for my women in our 30s and our 40s, even women in their 50s. Like I'm seeing women for the first time get married in their 50s.
Yep.
Women get married, for the first time, late 40s, late 60s.
Yep.
Wherever you are now, there's a reason why you're there. So take advantage of this time, because once you get in these relationships, something I've heard from all of you all, like you said, it starts to take away from you.
Yeah.
As an individual, because now you got the kids, you got the wife, you got the job, you're an entrepreneur. God forbid you may have a sick parent, so now you take on the role as a caretaker and things of that nature. So if you don't learn how to be effective by yourself, there's no way that you're going to be effective once you are in a relationship with somebody. So it's okay, live your life, do you, and when it's time, it'll be time.
It's time.
Yeah.
I have two daughters. One is 30. I have two daughters. One is 36. The other one just turned 30. Neither one of them have kids. Neither one of them want kids. Neither one of them is even halfway remotely thinking about getting married. And I'm okay with that. And they're okay with that. And it's like, people like, don't you want grandkids? I'm not going to raise any grandkids. So if my kids don't want kids, they just don't want kids. They're not going to have, I'm not going to pressure my kids to have a grandchild that I'm not even going to try to raise. And they're happy with it. I'm not.
No, that's real.
And if anybody knows me, I don't do kids. I mean, I work with kids. I don't do grandkids. No. I'm that typical grandmother that I'll see you when I want to see you. I'll send you money when I feel like it. I'll come if you want to. No, don't drop her off at my house. No, don't ask me what I'm doing. I raise my kids. I raised my 4 kids.
That's
now
real.
it's time for my kids. So my kids don't have kids. But they get a lot of beef about, you're not gonna give your mom a grandchild? My mom don't want a grandchild? Not if I'm raising it. So, but if I'm glad they're comfortable enough in their skin, but they're not letting society dictate to them that, oh my God, I'm 33, now I gotta have a baby, now I gotta get married. They're like bump society and everything else because they're the only person who gotta live their life.
That's right.
And I'm glad
That's right.
Yep. And I'm glad that's been instilled in them. They decide to get married, I'm happy. If they never get married, I'm happy. If they never have a child, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just say let people live. Let people live and stop being in other people's business. Like
get out of people's business. Thank you.
That's true.
Just to sum it up.
Yeah, just
get out of people's business.
Get out of people's business.
And mind your
Williams brothers, run your own front door.
I'm telling you.
That's right.
Exactly.
Or you're trying to sweep around mine.
Listen, 6 months to mind my business, 6 months to stay out of yours.
That's right. That's it. That's it.
I don't know.
Okay. So as you can tell, we could go on with this conversation on and on because it's so much layers to this, but we do want to be respectful of everybody's time and our viewers' time. So if there's any final thoughts at this time that y'all want to share, feel free to do so. If anybody in the comments want to say something, feel free to do that. This is the space to be able to do that at this time. So anybody want to
we'll kick it off with you. What's some final comments, some final feedback you want to leave it out there?
Don't nobody say anything. My whole thing is just agree to disagree, love unconditionally, and be true to yourself. And you can't be true to nobody else.
Good advice.
Great.
What about you, Gwen?
Relationships will work, all types of relationships. So just be prepared to put in the work for any relationship that you're going to have. And if you put in the work, you'll get the reward.
I agree. Justen?
Your relationship does not have to look like anyone else's that you know or anyone else that you don't know. Yeah. Your relationship can be between you and that person, and whatever makes the two of you all happy. As long as it works for y'all two, it works.
That's good, Justin.
Last but not least, Mr. Mattia.
So I would say 2 things. I would say, and I said this earlier, if you're in a relationship with someone, love hard, but dance harder.
Mhm.
All right, move the furniture, burn a rug, burn a hole in that carpet, dancing to what you want to listen to. Okay,
Ain't gotta be
and
church,
then
right?
the last point I will make is I know you all want, everybody wants something out of life. We want something. And whatever we want, we control our own atmosphere. Our words we speak, our thoughts, man, go get it. Eat before the food get cold and before that butt get old. All right? Go get it, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too. That's good. And go ahead. You want to say something, Keisha?
I just wanted to ask them if they had any, for those of you all that have businesses or any social media interest or things of that nature, and you would like our viewers to know more information about you, you're more than welcome to share that information with our audience at this time.
My daughter's really gonna kill me, but she does have a business called New Beginnings and Times. She has a couple of online stores, Earthbug that does recycling. New Bit is gonna start their first commercial property venture in New York, and it's gonna expand to Atlanta and to Chicago. So bigs up on my daughter. She's doing big things and she's making it happen. So, and she has a blog, New Beginning blog, so you can go on there and check her out. And so that's my plug.
Go ahead,
Good job,
Coach.
Grandma.
Thank you. I'm one of those upgraded grandmas. I'm always happy.
Yeah. Super energetic. I have 3 books on the market. Amazon.com books and me. Just Google Marvin Merv Mateer to check out all my books. And I have a Boys and Kings organization where we're trying to just give these guys an opportunity to first and foremost enjoy their childhood and then mature into kings. And we have 12 guiding principles, and one of the most important ones is respecting our queens. We must teach these young guys at an early age to value the worth of a woman. I don't care how she carries herself, value her worth, man. Because a lot of us guys are not taught that. So that website is www.boys with a Z to Kings, TOKINGS.com. I speak on different stages. I do so much stuff, man. But the most important thing is I'm a husband and a father to a 24-year-old young lady and a 12-year-old son. And I am about to be a granddad to Linda.
All right.
Work it out.
Yeah, so I'll be a granddad. And it's just amazing to see how my daughter have followed in our footsteps. She's getting married next year, and it's amazing what they grew up around. They want to emulate. So
Right.
yeah. So all right, that's it for me, man.
So yeah, I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Georgia, guys. You can follow me at. Oh God, I changed my Instagram. Well, you know what? If you just type in my name on Instagram, because as y'all can see, Justen is spelled differently than most other ones. So if you just type in my name, Justen, last name is DeBowles, DEBOWLES. You just type that into Instagram, you'll see all of my pages. Because I'm a counselor, I'm a photographer, I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I have way too many hats. So yeah, just you look my name up and everything pops up. Everything pops up, and I just wish everyone that's here in this panel, and wish everyone in the comment sections and that was viewing, all the viewers, and I just wish you all the best. Hope you all definitely got something from tonight.
Gwen, do you have anything?
No, ma'am. You know I don't do all that extra. I have enough on my plate.
Well, we want to still want to give you the thing.
I have enough on my plate. I don't have time to do nothing extra.
You're a wife?
I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 2. I am a Girl Scout leader. I'm a school counselor. I work
There she
more
go.
than 7 to 3:30. Like, I don't have time to do anything else on top of that. That's the end.
Awesome.
And there you have it.
Awesome.
No, but we want to make sure you had a space.
I know. Thank you, dear.
Yeah. All right. Well, Keisha, did you have any final thoughts before we close?
Just wanted to thank our lawyer listeners, our viewers, to say the least. We have really, really, really enjoyed you all this season. I think I speak for both Shnequia and I when I say that we never really imagined on how big of a scale this could be, and how many people and lives we've touched in the process. And so, like I said, tonight is a bittersweet moment, but this will not be the last time that you all see us. We are definitely going to come out with more content, developing our brand during our time off and things of that nature. So keep us in your prayers. If you know of anybody that can benefit from the content from tonight or even previous content that we put out, make sure to share our page, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as Shnequia stated beforehand. If you're not into viewing things live, because I know some people are not into that, you're more of a listener, hey, you can go and check us out on all major podcast platforms and things of that nature. But I cannot reiterate enough how thankful we are for each and every one of you all. And we look forward to God's will come next year, coming back and taking this thing on to the next level as far as it can go.
Yes. And I just want to say, I totally agree with everything that you're saying, Keisha. This experience has just been more than what I had even imagined and dreamed. Because I just remember, like, in the beginning when I was telling you about this idea of wanting to do it. And, you know, we both were kind of scared because we weren't sure about how it would be.
Yeah.
But I'm really pleased at how this has turned out. And like you said, I'm really just so grateful that we've been able to reach and touch as many people as we can, because, you know, we always want to make sure that we're putting out content that is going to be helpful and useful to people. And so I just want to just really thank all of our loyal viewers, listeners, and people that may have been watching this for the first time. You know, please continue to support us. If you haven't, like Lakesha said, liked or subscribed, you know, to our channel and Facebook page, please make sure to do that. You know, leave comments. We will read your comments. We will respond back to them. Yeah, so, and if you feel like there's people that could really benefit from this information, feel free to send it to them as well. And like Lakesha said, we will be back soon, like next year, with brand new content and things like that. So thank y'all again for all the support.
Shnequia, I just wanted to say before we wrap up, I wanted to thank you. For those who don't know, Shnequia and I are kin. I think we found out that we were cousins in high school. So we had went to school for years, did different activities and things of that nature. And like I said, it wasn't until high school that we discovered that we were actually kinfolk. And I know when Shnequia came to me about this venture, I was very skeptical. I was very much like against it. Gwen, I'm just like you. I don't really do social media like that. I'm active when I'm active, and when I'm not, I'm not. And so, like I said, I was very hesitant. Fear kicked in. I can't admit that, but I thank you for being patient. For Damon, if he's listening, I want to thank him as well, because he prayed me through some things in the beginning. And like I said, it's just been really, really beautiful what we've been able to do on this platform. And so I look forward to many, many more adventures in the near future with you.
Oh, thank you.
So,
love you. Appreciate that. All right, now that we're done being sappy and stuff like that, but real talk, please continue to support us, because we will be back really soon. Like I said, putting out that content that y'all were gonna love and enjoy. So if there's nothing else, we can go ahead and close this episode. Thank you again to all our guests.
Yes.
Panel, we could not have done this episode without you. Thank you for your insight and your opinions. We really appreciate it, and we think I'm sure our viewers appreciated it as well.
Yes.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and close. Again, to all our viewers out there, y'all take care, be safe, love one another. And just remember that if things are not going the way you want to, you can always change it.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, then. Well, y'all have a good night.
Take
All right,
care.
take care, panel.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.